Ms. Jackson, this is mine.
Good evening. I'm calling this workshop to order. The time is precisely 5:30 p.m. in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act. We have a quorum of the Fort Worth ISD board present. The following board members are present virtually, and I will now call each of their names in the order of their districts. District 3 Trustee Quentin Phillips. Good evening.
Good evening, Vice President Jackson. Quentin Phillips, present, representing District 3.
Thank you. District 4 Trustee Daphne Brookins.
Good evening, Vice President Jackson. Daphne Brookins, representing District 4.
District 5 Trustee CJ Evans.
Good evening, present.
District 6 Trustee Andar.
Good evening, First Vice President Jackson. This is Andar representing District 6.
District 7 Trustee Norman Robbins.
Good evening, Vice President Jackson. This is Norman Robbins representing District 7.
District 8 Trustee Anael Luebanos has a family medical emergency and is going to try to join us right now. Trustee Luebanos. Trustee Luebanos.
Good evening, Anael Luebanos, representing District 8, present.
Great, thank you so much. District 9 Trustee Ashley Paz.
Ashley Paz here representing District 9 tonight. Happy to be here.
Thank you. On March 16th, 2020, Governor Abbott, I love this, my script is cut off, so you guys hold on for just a second. I'm gonna have to repair this. It'll be done in a jiffy. Okay, I'll start again. On March 16th, 2020, Governor Abbott temporarily suspended certain open meetings requirements imposed by the Open Meetings Act to slow the spread of COVID-19. This action permits meetings subject to the Open Meetings Act to be hosted by telephone or video conference. This workshop is being broadcast live via Spectrum Charter Channel 192, the Fort Worth ISD Live channel on YouTube, and a link provided in the agenda. In accordance with those suspended rules, we certify the following. Notice of this workshop has been posted online for at least 72 hours. 1, although members of the board are not gathered in a central physical location, we do have a quorum in attendance at this workshop by video conference or telephone call. We are meeting by use of Zoom software application, which allows two-way communication for members of the public. As we would at any in-person board meeting, members of the public who have followed the instruction on the workshop notice for registering to speak during the public comment portion will be unmuted for 3 minutes to speak. All other meeting procedures will adhere to board adopted procedures to the extent practical. An audio recording of this workshop is being made and will be available to the public at a later date. We apologize in advance for any unforeseeable difficulties and for your patience as we navigate unprecedented conditions. If you have questions about these suspended laws, please call the Office of the Attorney General at 888-672-6787 or by email at TOMA, T-O-M-A, at oag.texas.gov. At this time, I would like to call the public meeting to order. We're moving on to the public hearing, which is now called to order, and I will turn it over to Dr. Scribner at this time. Dr. Scribner?
Very much, Ms. Jackson. At this time, we would like to present our PowerPoint on public hearing regarding proposed tax rates for the 2021 school year. At this time, I'll turn it over to our Chief Financial Officer, Mr. Michael Ball.
You have to unmute, Michael.
Thank you, Dr. Scribner. Thank you, Vice President Jackson. It's a privilege to participate in this meeting to propose the tax rate that will fund the district operations for the coming year. And this is the time for the public hearing, and we want to, if we can go to the next slide, we'll just jump right into the chart that depicts the proposed tax rate. It's really comprised of two parts, the maintenance and operations rate and the interest and sinking rate. And the proposed tax rate is, of course, expressed as a rate per $100 in taxable value, and it is as follows. The maintenance and operations rate that is proposed is $1.0864. And the interest and sinking rate is unchanged from the prior year at 29.2 cents per $100 in taxable value. And that provides a total proposed tax rate of $1.3784 cents per $100 in taxable value. And the proposed M&O rate, or maintenance and operations rate, includes an additional enrichment rate that will provide funding along with state foundation school program aid to pay for the day-to-day operating expenses of the district. The proposed INS rate provides funding to make the payments on bonds that have been issued to pay for voter-approved capital improvement projects. It remains unchanged from the previous year. The chart shows a comparison of the proposed 2021 rates with the adopted rates for the 2019-20 fiscal year. It illustrates the reduction in the rate provided by Senate Bill 2 from the 86th legislature. This reduction is based on the relationship of the local growth in taxable property values compared to the statewide average growth rate. The Fort Worth ISD values have increased about 2.1% compared to the statewide average of 4.5%. This results in a reduction of 1.3 cents in the M&O rate in accordance with the provisions of Senate Bill 2. The administration is proposing an additional 11 cents on the maintenance and operations rate. As previously stated, the proposed INS rate remains unchanged at 29.2 cents, and this would support the operations of the district for the coming fiscal year. So if we could go to the next slide, this will discuss the benefit to the district. And this chart illustrates that the additional local tax revenue would total about $44 million. And since the public school funding system is based in part on local tax effort, those additional revenues would result in about $22 million in additional state dollars coming into our community. So it's about a 50% match for the local collections paid by our community. So if we could go to the next slide, we'll talk about why do we need the additional revenue. And what we've listed here is the ability to enhance the teacher incentive allotment. This proposal would enable the district to be more competitive in attracting and retaining the best teachers. And it would provide better campus safety and security. We're seeing that the cost of personal protective equipment such as masks, face shields, hand sanitizer, plexiglass barriers, and similar items appear to be an ongoing cost of operating a safe school environment for our students and employees. This will also fund additional measures to sanitize campuses and buses, such as fogging machines and additional custodial labor and supplies. And the third thing of focus is technology and connectivity. As you know, students without technology need hotspots and devices such as Chromebooks in order to access the virtual learning environment. And methods to provide broadband internet access are also being explored in partnership with our philanthropic community. In the next slide, we'll talk about the cost to homeowners. And this chart provides the average value of a taxable residence in Fort Worth ISD in the top row there of $163,432. And that's based on the certified property value roll as of July 25th, 2020, received from the Tarrant Appraisal District. The cost for that average residence is about $13 per month of this proposal. The chart also shows the cost for homes valued at $250,000 or about $20 per month. $300,000 would be about $24 per month, and $350,000 home would be about $28 per month. And then highlighted there at the bottom of that slide is a very important thing to note, and that is that the residential homestead owners over age 65 who have filed for the exemption would not pay any additional tax as a result of this proposal, because their tax amount is frozen at the level that it was in the year they turned 65. And so in summary, this proposal provides about a 50% match from the state, which would bring in additional dollars to our local community based on the effort of and payment from Fort Worth ISD property owners. And as previously said, the cost to the homeowners ranges from about $13 per month for the average home up to the $28 amount shown for the home valued at $350,000. And again, the homeowner age 65 or over would not pay any additional tax as a result of this proposal. And Madam Vice President, be happy to answer any questions that trustees might have, and otherwise this would be the time, I think, to go to the public comment.
At this time, do we have any questions? Trustee Dar.
Thank you, Vice President Jackson. Thank you, Mr. Ball, for that presentation. I appreciate it. I, as a parent, I'm going to put my parent hat on right now of students in the district. I can most certainly get behind quality teachers in the classroom. I can also get behind safety and security. I want my kids to be safe and secure. And I certainly know that there is a need for additional technology in not only in our schools, but in our homes, and the connectivity piece is huge right now. And I support Fort Worth ISD's efforts to make sure that every student has a computer and a hotspot and some or internet connectivity, however that internet connectivity is achieved. I also know that purchasing a bunch of hotspots is a Band-Aid, and I know I'm not telling anybody on this board something that they don't already know. What would any of these funds be used to provide long-term solutions such as towers and connectivity for communities, as opposed to just hotspots for homes?
Yes, Mike, if I may, we are very fortunate to partner with several nonprofits and philanthropic foundations. The Tarrant To and Through initiative has looked at broadband subscription ranked by households, and the high concentration of households who have children but live in an area where there is not reliable reliable internet access, reliable connectivity. Several of those zip codes are either in East Fort Worth or in South Fort Worth. The 760-101, 76104 zip codes, as well as 76014 and 115. Those are areas in which we are looking to partner with the business community, with philanthropy, whereby we could invest alongside of those organizations in digital towers that cover about a 7 mile by 7 mile radius with regard to much more reliable broadband. So yes, hotspots in the short term. These funds would be recurring funds every year, so we could address our short-term needs, but then also engage in some strategic planning, as you suggest, so we invest in our students in the long run. There are smaller districts in our vicinity. In fact, one just to the west of us, a district of 5 or 6 schools that has one digital tower that serves the entire district. And we think we could invest and do several, particularly in those zip codes that currently and historically have been underserved.
Thank you, Dr. Scribner. I appreciate that answer. And that's not just service for students, that is service for a community.
Exactly.
For communities, for parents who need access to. It's hard to register your kids when you don't have access to the internet. So, okay, thank you. I appreciate that answer, and I appreciate that presentation.
Thank you for that follow-up point also, Trustee Dar, because we know that well over 2/3 of job applications now require online applications. So this, you're absolutely right. This not only would help our students, but the entire family.
Trustee Paz, did I see that you? Please.
Yes, thank you, Vice President Jackson. Mr. Ball, thank you so much for that presentation. And I'm personally excited to hear that of the possibility of investing in broadband and the zip codes, as I live in 76104, big up to the south side. We need better broadband because, man, it's it's tough. It's tough over here. So my question actually is about our current financial situation. Mr. Ball, can you talk about the money? So right now we are currently losing money back to the state. So the 22 million per year that you have is increased revenue from the state. That not only that, so we would not only be increasing that revenue, but we would not, there's an additional bucket of revenue that we wouldn't be losing back to the state. Am I correct in that understanding?
Great question, Trustee Paz. The district is operating at a deficit, meaning it's costing more to operate on a day-to-day basis than what our revenue stream is forecast to be for the coming years. And so what this proposal would do is obviously it would result in some increased local tax collections. And it's really a 50-cent match on the dollar for every additional dollar in local tax collections that are achieved by the district. The state would contribute an additional 50 cents. So our local taxpayers pay $1, but we would have $1.50 to utilize in operating the district. And that all together would bring in about $62 million. I'm sorry, about $66 million per year. 44 of that from local taxpayers and 22 of that from the state.
Okay, and how do you have the number of how much we have lost in federal funding over the last few years?
I do not, but I certainly can research that and get back to you with that. If you're talking about the CARES Act funding, that was about $29 million that we're receiving, that the state then reduced our funding accordingly. And so actually some of that will go to private schools in the area. But that's the number that I have tip of my tongue. And if there's other federal funding that we need to research, I'm happy to do that.
Yeah, I'm talking about just our general, just the general pot of money that we get from different federal grants has reduced over the last few years. I want to say in like the last 5 years, it's to the tune of like $45 million.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I do not. I don't want to, but I'll certainly research that and provide it to you, Trustee.
Okay.
Any other comments from our trustees? Trustee Brookins.
Mm-hmm. So I know that we are selling our properties and we're getting funding from that. Could you explain to our communities the difference of where those pockets of money are going?
Absolutely, Trustee Brookins, I'd be happy to do that. That's a great observation. There really are, just like we talked about, there are two components to the tax rate. Those two components fund two separate buckets of money, if you will. And the bucket of money that we call our maintenance and operations fund is really for the day-to-day operations of the district. If you think about your home budget, that'd be like your salary or your income stream that you pay for your groceries and your utility bills and all the things that the typical household spends. What we call the interest and sinking fund provides for the capital projects of the district, the buildings and major renovations and those kind of things. And to kind of compare that to our home budgets, that fund is somewhat like our home mortgage. There's very few of us who have the financial wherewithal to write a check for our home. And the district finds itself in the same spot. So in order to provide the buildings and capital projects needed to operate the district, those are financed with long-term debt, just like most of us do our primary residence. And so when we sell excess real estate, that money has to go back into that capital projects fund and cannot be used to pay for the day-to-day like salaries and the utility costs and those types of things. And so, but the law actually requires that we keep those two buckets of money separate. And so I hope that's adequately addressed your question, Trustee Brookins.
Yes, thank you.
Any other questions? I would go back to the question from Ms. Dar with regard to your answer, Dr. Scribner, and that was the zip codes that you will be serving with Wi-Fi towers. You said they would serve 7 to 8 miles out. I presume that's a radius.
Yes.
So the zip codes you stated are directly adjacent to zip codes such as 76105. That's the most impoverished zip code in Tarrant County. Can we get a list of the how these radiate out, or what the radius is of the amplification of the bandwidth? I don't know. That's way out of my line.
No, absolutely. That's a great question. And we have these data actually broken down by percentage of households with children who do not have broadband, without broadband. So this, I think you just said 76105. That is 41% of the households there are without broadband. And that is why this is an absolute necessity to invest in our community, like any other utility that we need at our home in today's world and moving forward. A broadband subscription certainly is at that same level. But yes, we'll provide this to the board tomorrow, and broken down by zip code, as well as the percentage of households with children without broadband.
Great, thank you so much. And if we don't have any further comments from the board.
I have something, Vice President Jackson.
Thank you, Trustee Phillips.
Yeah, so in the spirit of transparency, like we've been throwing around, and we've been trying to make sure that we're ushering in that this culture of that we are, being transparent and trying to make sure we have accurate information and people are being communicated well with. So I want to make sure that I know what's going on here all the way, because I love the presentation, and I don't want it to be a presentation that one day bites us in the butt, but that it actually withholds what it is that we're saying and we're doing here. So correct me if I'm wrong, but what I'm hearing is that by what's being presented today is that we will be helping with our technology to be able to boost technology out to the students. That we would be helping with the cell towers, to be able to try to get better Wi-Fi access to those who most need it. I'm hearing that this will help with our safety, and I'm hearing that this will help with PPE and everything as far as being able to keep our students, families, teachers, educators safe. And I'm hearing that that those who make the most would have to pay the most, right? And I'm also hearing that those over 65 will not have to pay this. So I'm hearing am I hearing all of that correct? And then as I'm hearing that correctly, what we decide upon today is not necessarily what happens, but that then what we're actually deciding is for it to be presented to the public, for them to decide upon that. I'm trying to make sure I got all that clear as we're moving forward.
I think you've summed it up well, Trustee Phillips.
Be sounding too good to be true sometimes. I got to make sure.
Things exactly are what were in the presentation, and the rate would. That's one of the things on our agenda tonight. Is the rate would require that if the board adopts the rate that's recommended, it would trigger the requirement to call an election on the general election date for the voters to ratify this rate. So I think you summed it up very well. Thank you.
And
cool. Go ahead. Yeah,
I'm sorry, Trustee Phillips. And one more piece that I just don't want us to brush over. The third leg to the stool of this additional investment will be to enhance our teacher incentive allotment, allowing our best teachers to serve our students, in incentivizing our best teachers to serve our students in the greatest need, much like we're doing right now with the leadership academies. Take that initiative to scale, but also incentivize teachers based on student growth and achievement. Much like what we've talked about before with our school performance framework, where we identify schools into different tiers. Those who are achieving at acceptable levels, they've earned some autonomy. Those that are struggling, we're going to double down and reinvest in those schools with the additional resources that for decades they have lacked.
All right, and so it's sounding beautiful. And so then I guess my final question is, I know Mike, you spoke about the state kicking in, the 50%. We spend $1 or the public spends $1, state kicks in 50. Is this a statute? This in writing somewhere? Could we hold a state to that? I mean, even that sounds too good to be true that they actually go have to kick this in. So, what provision is that makes that occur to where we can hold that to be?
That's a great point, Trustee Phillips. It is in statute. It's based on the funding formulas in state law, the current funding formulas, and we do have to remind ourselves that the legislature does come back in January, and so all of that is subject to change. But under current law, yes, the system is really based on what they call tax effort, and so the more local taxes that are collected, the more the state will provide. It's called Tier 2 funding is really what the provision in the statute calls it.
Absolutely, yeah. No, we can go with what's on the books at the moment. So, all right, good stuff. No, I appreciate that. Great presentation, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hey, any other, Ms. Trustee Brickens?
Yeah, I wanted to go back to that one slide because it went by it kind of quick about the safety and security. Does that also include cybersecurity? Because I've been hearing a lot of talk on TV about that with our students getting hotspot and Chromebooks and all of that, we're more susceptible to get another cyber break. Sure that where it says security, does that include that as well?
It does, Trustee Brookins. We have taken great measures already to enhance the security of our network, and we are constantly being vigilant about that. And it probably wouldn't be appropriate to publicly state all the things that we've done to enhance the security of our network, but we have done a lot of measures, implemented a lot of measures to enhance that security. And so some of those measures that we have done will require ongoing costs that could be paid with the proceeds from this proposal. And certainly, if the board needs more specifics on the security measures we've put in place, I think that would be an appropriate discussion for a closed session and not an open meeting.
Thank you.
Any others?
Yes, Vice President Jackson, I'd like to make a comment, and I feel that I may have deceived some people. I've last week, as recently when we were chatting, I said that I was very much in favor of the 11-cent increase and going to the voters and asking for that. But after talking to some people as recently as just a few moments before this meeting started, I am now not in favor of doing so. And the reason is that, as I mentioned last week, I think that the state will pretty much gut public education in the next session. There are only two buckets from which they can get large amounts of money, and that's public ed and healthcare, both of which are critical to the success of our state. I'm concerned if we go to the voters this November and ask for this 11-penny increase that'll generate $66 million, that we may be gutted by the state next spring to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars, necessitating us to come back to the voters again next year for an additional tax ratification election, which I think would be very difficult. On top of that, some of the items that are included in our 11-cent increase are really more capital investment kinds of expenses rather than operating expenses. That being the towers that are needed to increase the broadband in our most critical parts of town. But yet again, I think that it falls out of the range of an operational expense. I also feel that it would be difficult for us to do this now, to do this again next year. I think it would be more prudent for us to see how much cutting we have to endure next spring, and then go to the voters to try to make up that difference, rather than doing a little bit now and a little bit later. So I typically, when I change my mind on a situation, like to give everyone a heads up beforehand. But I've just recently come to this conclusion, like I said, just minutes before we met this evening, so I did not have a chance to do that, and I apologize for that. But at this point, I don't think I can be in favor of the 11-cent increase. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Trustee Robbins, and thank you for those heartfelt comments. Any other concerns? Quentin, I see you. Trustee Phillips, I see you moving. Any
simply moving. No.
See, I'm trying to keep up. Okay.
Appreciate you doing a good job. I appreciate that.
Thank you, sir. At this time, I'll ask Clint Bond if we have any public speakers.
Vice President Jackson, we have no speakers enrolled.
And then at this time, we will close our public hearing, and we will move on to action agenda items. And our letter A is discussion and action to approve ordinance fixing and levying the school district ad valorem taxes.
Madam Board President, if I may just ask a quick question to Mr. Bond. Nobody signed up for public comment either, Mr. Bond, did they?
That is correct.
Okay.
Thank you.
Toby, can I make a quick, so earlier I said that we had lost $45 million in funding. That was wrong. It was 45% of our federal funding since 2016. I just want to make that clarification. Don't want to put information out there.
Thank you. So tonight's first action agenda item is discussion and action to approve ordinance fixing and levying school district ad valorem taxes. Do I have a motion?
Ashley Paz, so moved.
Have a motion by Trustee Paz on the floor. We need a second.
Hugh Phillips, I second.
Trustee Paz has made the motion. Trustee Phillips has seconded it. At this time, I'll ask, do we have any discussion? Seeing no discussion, I'll go through and call each member for a vote. Trustee District 3, Quentin Phillips.
Yes.
Trustee District 4, Daphne Brookins.
Yes.
Trustee District 5, CJ Evans.
No.
Trustee District 6, Dar.
Yes.
Trustee District 7, Norman Robbins.
No.
Trustee District 8, Anael Luebanos. Trustee District 9, Ashley Paz.
Yes.
And I am Vice President Toby Jackson, and my vote is a yes as well. So the motion passes with 5 yeas and 2 nays. Is that correct, Mr. Castillo?
Yes, ma'am.
Madam Vice President, this is Mike Ball. I believe there is some motion language that the law requires the motion to be made in accordance with that language. Mr. Castillo, am I off base on that?
No, sir. Is the language in the rationale or in the recommendation?
I believe it is.
I don't see it here. If someone would like to text it to me, or if someone else would like to say it, what I have is to call for the discussion and action to approve the ordinance, and then to ask for a second once there's a motion.
Yeah,
And then we move on to B, which is an order calling a voter approval tax ratification election.
Mr. Castillo, is it enough, as the person making the motion, is it enough for me to say that I move for the Board of Trustees to approve the ordinance as proposed in the presentation we just received by Fort Worth ISD staff?
Yeah, let's do that for right now. And then if we need to revisit it after executive session, we will.
Sounds good.
Okay.
I think here's what. Let me text this because I believe we've got to effectively adopt the tax rate before we go to calling the election. So I'm going to take a picture of what's on the screen and and I can send it to Ms. Molinar and she can get it to the right person. Will that work?
Yes.
Okay.
So, Mr. Castillo, will this motion hold as it's been presented by Trustee Paz, or shall we start the entire process over again?
Let's make an amendment to the motion if that's okay with what Mr. Ball sent over, just to be on the safe side.
That sounds good. If you need water or a break, please take it now.
Better to get it right than have to come back and do it again.
Better to get it right. I'm with it.
I'm with that too.
Yeah, what's coming is in bold in the middle of what's in the middle of the ordinance has to be included in the motion language.
Will you be sending that to Trustee Paz? Or will you be sending?
I've sent it to Ms. Molinar, and I think hopefully she has Ms. Paz's.
I sent it to Trustee Paz.
Good.
I have it. So
Thank you, Trustee Paz, for your patience.
bear with me while I read it. I do not have a Fort Worth ISD education, so. So this, do I need to read the entire thing or just the?
Oh, ma'am, I think the motion should be, I move that the ordinance be adopted as presented, and then read what's bold there in the middle where it says this rate will raise more taxes.
Okay. I move that this ordinance shall be, that the ordinance will be approved as presented, that this tax rate will raise more taxes for maintenance and operation than last year's tax rate, and the tax rate will effectively be raised by 7.53% and will raise taxes for maintenance and operations on a $100,000 home by approximately $96.50 per year.
That's it.
That's good?
Thank you.
Okay, Trustee Paz has a motion. Trustee Phillips, just cross my fingers here. Could you just give a second again?
I do absolutely second.
Okay, great. Shall we go through voting again, or will voting hold? Attorney Castillo.
To discuss before we vote.
Sure.
And that tax increase would have to be approved by the voters. correct?
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure that that's clear, that we are not voting on a tax increase. We are voting on allowing the voters to choose and the opportunity to decide if they want a tax increase.
That's the next motion.
That is motion B.
You are adopting the tax rate, Trustee Dar,
Okay.
by this action. That it is setting the tax rate to be ratified by the voters in the next action.
Okay.
Attorney Castillo, do our votes hold or shall we go through them again?
Let's do it again, please.
Okay, we have Trustee Paz with the motion, Trustee Phillips with the second, and I will now go through roll call. District 3, Trustee Quentin Phillips.
Yes.
Thank you. District 4, Trustee Daphne Brookins.
Yes.
District 5, Trustee CJ Evans.
No.
Thank you. District 6, Trustee Ann Dar.
Yes.
District 7, Trustee Norman Robbins.
No.
Thank you. District 8, Trustee Anael Luebanos. District 9, Trustee Ashley Paz.
Yes.
And I am District 2, Trustee Toby Jackson. And the motion passes with 5 yeas and 2 nays. Moving on to B on your agenda. Discussion and action to approve order calling a voter approval tax ratification election. Do I have a motion for the tax ratification election? And before I even ask, is there any other specific language, Attorney Castillo, that we need to go through in case Trustee Paz makes this motion? She's been very patient, but I'm
not to my knowledge. Mr. Ball, correct, right?
I believe that's correct.
okay.
Between us two, I think we'll get this right.
All right. Do we have a motion?
Ashley Paz, so moved.
Thank you. Trustee Paz has made the motion. Looking for a second, please.
Phillips, I say.
Trustee Phillips has the second. Seeing none, I will go through roll call at this time. District 3, Trustee Quentin Phillips.
Yes.
District 4, Trustee Daphne Brookins.
Yes.
District 5, Trustee CJ Evans.
No.
District 6, Trustee Ann Dar.
Yes.
District 7, Trustee Norman Robbins.
No.
District 8, Trustee Anael Luebanos. District 9, Trustee Ashley Paz.
Yes.
And I am District 2, Trustee Toby Jackson. And it appears that we have 5 yeses and 2 nos. Action item C, discussion and action to approve resolution and order for election services for the November 3rd, 2020 Fort Worth ISD voter approval tax ratification election. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Trustee Paz makes the motion. Do I have a second?
Phillips, I second.
Trustee Phillips has a second. We'll go through. Does anyone have any discussion? Let's go through roll call right now. District 3, Trustee Quentin Phillips.
Yes.
Thank you. District 4, Trustee Daphne Brookins.
Yes.
Thank you. District 5, Trustee CJ Evans.
No.
District 6, Trustee Ann Dar.
Yes.
District 7, Trustee Norman Robbins.
No.
District 8, Trustee Anael Luebanos is still not here. District 9, Trustee Ashley Paz.
Yes.
And I am Toby Jackson, District 2 Trustee. I vote yes. 5 yeses and 2 nos. Moving on to D, discussion and action to approve the early college high school calendar for the 2020-2021 school year. Do I have a motion?
So
This is
moved.
Norman Robbins.
Go ahead, Norman.
I'll second. This is Norman Robbins. I'll second.
Okay, thank you. We have a motion on the floor by Trustee Dar and a second from Trustee Robbins. Thank you both. Any discussion at all? Seeing none, I'll go through roll call for votes. Trustee Quentin Phillips, District 3.
Yes.
Thank you. Trustee Daphne Brookins, District 4.
Yes.
Trustee CJ Evans, District 5.
Yes.
Trustee Ann Dar, District 6.
Yes.
Trustee Norman Robbins, District 7.
Yes.
Trustee Anel Luebanos is still absent. District 9, Trustee Ashley Paz.
Yes.
Thank you. And I'm District 2, Trustee Toby Jackson. My vote is yes as well. The vote is unanimous. Moving on to the discussion on the development of board constraints and constraint progress measures as part of Lone Star governance. In February of this year, we did some in-depth work with Mr. Dale Latham from Region 11 concerning the board constraints and constraint progress measures, which we will begin to discuss at this time. Doesn't say on the script, but are we taking this into executive session?
That is correct.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's great. So at this time, we will recess and reconvene in closed meeting for executive session to discuss with Mr. Dale Latham the board constraints and constraint progress measures for Lone Star governance. See you all on the other side. Thank you.
Before you start the new school year and online learning, create your space.
All right, gentlemen, this is going to be a space for our online learning.
Find a home learning environment that's comfortable and as free from distractions as possible.
You know which class to work until
Working there repeatedly establishes a routine and keeps books, supplies, everything you need in one place. The space must also have high-speed internet access and a power source, a digital device, and in shared spaces, headphones are strongly recommended. Now, be sure to contact your campus if you need a Chromebook or a hotspot.
Okay, turn it on. 10:30, we're going to start working on
Just
math,
like in the classroom, students need a daily routine.
Okay, let's take a
The
break.
closer you can stick to a regular school schedule, the easier it will be for everyone. But find a schedule that works for the student and the needs of the family. Try to schedule virtual learning sessions when you're not likely to be distracted. Use a calendar for due dates and class meetings. Color coding can help. Set alarms and alerts on your phone as needed, and you're in a good place to learn.
Good job today, guys. You got some free time.
For more information, go to fwisd.org/families. Before you start the new school year and online learning, create your space.
All right, gentlemen, this is going to be a space for our online learning.
Find a home learning environment that's comfortable and as free from distractions as possible.
You know which class to work until
Working there repeatedly establishes a routine and keeps books, supplies, everything you need in one place. The space must also have high-speed internet access and a power source, a digital device, and in shared spaces, headphones are strongly recommended. Now, be sure to contact your campus if you need a Chromebook or a hotspot.
Okay, turn it on. 10:30, we're going to start working on
Just
math,
like in the
okay?
classroom,
Let's try to stay
students
on
need a
track.
daily routine.
Okay, let's take a
The
break. real
closer
quick.
you can
All right,
stick to a
ready?
regular school schedule, the easier it will be for everyone. But find a schedule that works for the student and the needs of the family. Try to schedule virtual learning sessions when you're not likely to be distracted. Use a calendar for due dates and class meetings. Color coding can help. Set alarms and alerts on your phone as needed, and you're in a good place to learn.
Good job today, guys. You got some free time.
For more information, go to fwisd.org/families.
This is going to be your school. This is going to be your school area.
You've created your home learning space. Now let's get you started online. First, know that kindergarten through 12th grade students will use the Google Classroom virtual learning platform. Pre-K students will use Seesaw. Google Chrome is the recommended web browser. Google Meet is the communication tool teachers will use to video conference with students. Teachers will communicate with parents through district email and ParentLink. And every teacher will maintain a class Google site that you can access from your campus's website. No matter what kind of device you use, laptop, tablet, or smartphone, practice with it before the first day of school. Now, actual learning begins by signing on to ClassLink. It's the portal to your virtual learning platform and many digital tools and resources you will use. To get to ClassLink, just go to fwisd.org/myfwisd. Click the Sign In with Microsoft button. Type in your district Active Directory username. That's the one with the letter S and your student ID number, followed by @stu.fwisd.org. By the way, you may occasionally need your Google username, which is similar. Instead of typing STU in the extension, spell out students. Note that your password is the same for your Active Directory and Google accounts. And you're on your way to online learning. The ClassLink Launchpad links you to important applications, websites, and cloud storage.
Good job today, guys.
For more information, including step-by-step video guides, go to fwisd.org/families.
Go ahead and open your computers and let's get ready to log in.
These 5 tips are just for you, Fort Worth ISD parents.
It's like your first day of school.
They'll
and
help
this
you
is going to
position
be
your
school
child to
area.
make the most of online learning and stay on track until school doors safely reopen.
Okay, turn it on.
First, start each online school day helping your child set goals for the
Hi,
day.
Sammy. What are you working on today?
Ask questions such as, what do you plan to work on today? What will you do if you get stuck? What resources do you need? And how can I support you?
So I'll check back in with you.
Then
at 10:30.
check back periodically to make sure your child is engaged and learning. We all know how easy it is to get distracted
You're
online.
doing great.
Celebrate successes like putting a star or a sticker on completed work. At the end of the school day, encourage your child to reflect on the day and develop a plan for tomorrow. Again, ask questions. What did you learn and accomplish today? What was challenging? How can we make tomorrow even better?
But it sounds like you got a good plan. Okay.
Be patient and flexible with your child and yourself. If your child becomes frustrated, suggest a short break.
Let's take a break real quick. All right, ready? Come on.
Have you talked to your teachers about anything?
And finally, keep in contact with teachers, counselors, and others on campus who can answer your questions and hear any concerns you have. Remember, you are your child's best coach, providing support and encouragement and expectations.
Good job today, guys. Proud of you.
For more information, including support material for learning tools and step-by-step video reference guides, visit fwisd.org/families.
We're handing out probably about 20,000 devices today to our principals from across the district. This is vitally important. Many of our students don't have access to technology without with ISD providing this. So our students need to be engaged in learning every day.
We are picking up computers, in some cases hotspots, but those are the things that we're picking up to get out to our kids and our families this morning.
It is extremely important that our families have a device that they can utilize with their students for their education.
Getting our students what they need.
Today we're going to have a donation of school supplies from Sudelco Construction Company. It'll be something that'll be very impactful for them, something that they can use, getting resources into their hands to ensure that they're successful for the new year.
It's a wonderful partnership with Sudelco. They're great supporters of our school district. Kids need school supplies even in a virtual setting, and we really appreciate their investment in our students and support here at Nathan Howell.
Being able to provide backpacks to kids with school supplies, one less thing they have to worry about, and hopefully just an opportunity to kind of ease their minds on some of those elements.
Thank you. All right, that's it. That's all I need. You get a check mark now. You're going to pull forward to where those yellow cones are. They'll put a computer in your car for you, and off you go.
We've partnered with Fort Worth ISD and TXU Energy to bring our computer distribution drive-through up to Fort Worth ISD and hand out 250 free computers to families without access to a device at home.
Stacey Moss, we're so excited for you here. Here you go.
TXU Energy is so proud to be able to donate these computers because they're going to go a long way in helping students be able to access their online learning.
Are you ready to go? Yes. Okay, now you're really excited, right?
I have 4 kids, and I know they're going to be starting on online schooling real soon, and I want to make sure they have computers, to work on.
Now that y'all got this, we'll be seeing you virtually in class, right?
You be safe, okay? We'll study hard.
Fort Worth ISD teachers, wow, what a wild 5 months we have just experienced. We all know education is an ever-changing profession that is both demanding and rewarding. But none of us could have ever imagined this public health crisis and the unique challenge it represents. Thank you for your continued dedication to your profession and our students.
I'm going to start sharing my screen.
So now we know that virtual instruction will be a part of our educational experience. Thanks in part to your feedback, we will be able to make this a much better experience for students, parents, and you this fall. For that to happen, we know above all else, we must let you do what you're expert at, teaching our students. With that in mind, and our students' home learning environments, we are adopting an asynchronous plan for this fall. That simply means students can work on their schoolwork at their own pace. This will provide latitude for the many challenges they face when learning at home.
19.
Some students will want to follow a traditional schedule. Others may work better in the evening when parents are available to help. Still others may need to help younger siblings or share technology. An asynchronous plan does not mean you won't be interacting directly with your students. Actually, we want you to engage with students every day. Our pre-K students will have at least 3 hours of learning engagement every day. Kindergarten through 12th grade students will have a minimum of 4 hours of instructional engagement each day. Instructional engagement will also come in a variety of ways. You may pre-record lessons that students will view. You may assign group projects. You may host small group lessons. And some of these activities, especially the direct instruction activities, will be provided synchronously, meaning some of your teaching will be scheduled with the whole class logged on at the same time. We are not limiting you. We want you to provide virtual instruction in a format that works for you and your students. One of the most important questions for you is, what platform are we using? We wanted to choose a platform that would be as consistent as possible for everyone, students and parents, and all teachers in all grade levels. We also wanted to utilize something you're already familiar with, rather than one more new program you would have to learn. For those reasons, we chose Google Suite for all kindergarten through 12th grade classrooms. Pre-K teachers will use Seesaw. Some of you may say, Google is not a true learning management system. You're right. But using Google right now will allow you to work in a system that is familiar, while we continue to look for the right high-quality LMS that can be used district-wide. I know you all can successfully design plans around this decision. We do welcome your input. In fact, we will ask for it in our study to find a new LMS this school year. So, how can you get ready for virtual instruction? Many of you told us there wasn't professional learning this summer to prepare you to teach virtually. While all summer professional learning touched on the virtual environment and teaching through technology, you said you didn't know which specific sessions to take. We heard you and now have virtual instruction sessions that will get you ready for this school year. We've identified time during our professional learning week for all teachers to take these sessions. But the sessions are available now if you want to view them and begin your learning. There is much to be done, and we want to help as much as possible. District and campus support staff will be available to help you however we can. Our team is putting together sample and model lessons and activities that you may use during the first 6 weeks of school. Instructional support staff will be on campus each day if you need assistance with virtual instruction. Your school will be available if that creates a better environment for you to virtually teach. We encourage you to take advantage of these supports, but you make the decision based on what's right for your classrooms and your students. We will be with you to help, support, and problem solve, but you're the experts that will make this happen. Your active engagement with your students, your communication with your parents, and your letting us know what you need are essential. If you do these 3 things, I know we will have a great virtual educational experience for our students. Here's to a great 2021 school year.
used to let things bring me down. I would walk with my eyes to the ground, but I knew I could find a way to push through. Every word they'd say, I grew strong. I knew right from wrong, and now I feel it too. I'm alive, yeah, I'm alive. I'm alive.
open the workshop at precisely 5:30 p.m. in a private video conference with a quorum present. Recessed and reconvened open session virtually, adjourned regular session, convened executive session, adjourned executive session, and now we have reconvened an open session at precisely 8:43 p.m. in the public virtual video conference with a quorum present. The trustees who are present virtually are, and I will go through roll call. District 1, Trustee President Jacinto Ramos.
I'm present.
Thank you. District 3, Trustee Quentin Phillips.
Present.
Thank you. District 4, Trustee Daphne Brookins.
Present.
District 5, Trustee CJ Evans.
Present.
Thank you. District 6, Trustee Ann Dar.
Present.
Thank you. District 7, Trustee Norman Robbins.
Present.
District 8 Trustee Anael Luebanos had a medical emergency and he will not be at this meeting. District 9 Trustee Ashley Paz.
Present.
Thank you. I thought you were. And I am District 2 Trustee Toby Jackson. And I, First Vice President Jackson, am indeed present. At this time, we will return to some of the action items that were considered before we adjourn to executive session. There may have been some confusion as we repeated the motion and the vote on a few of the items. Ms. Paz, do you have a motion?
Yes, I would like to move that we can reconsider my previous motion. Give me just a second and I will read it. That Fort Worth ISD's tax rate will raise more taxes for maintenance and operations than last year's rate, and the tax rate will effectively be raised by 7.53% and will raise taxes for maintenance and operations on a $100,000 home by approximately $96.50.
Thank you, Trustee Paz. Do we have a second?
You, Phillips, I'll second.
Thank you, Trustee Phillips.
Madam President, this is Mike Ball.
I'm going back.
If we could read that motion verbatim, it still, I think, needs to state the total.
Mr. Ball, hold on. Ms. Paz, just for clarification, your motion was to reconsider item 4A, approve ordinance fixing and levying school district ad valorem taxes, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And Mr. Phillips seconded that motion to reconsider. So now at this time, we vote on the motion to reconsider before the actual item is on the table.
Right. Okay. At this time, is there any discussion? This time we will go through roll call. The motion is on the table with Trustee Paz moving and Trustee Phillips second. With no discussion, I'll call District 1 Trustee Jacinto Ramos Jr. Any discussion?
Yes. No discussion, sorry.
I'm sorry. District 3 Trustee Quentin Phillips. Any discussion?
No discussion.
District 4 Trustee Daphne Brookins. Any discussion?
No discussion.
District 5 Trustee CJ Evans. Any discussion?
No discussion.
District 6 Trustee Ann Dar. Any discussion?
No discussion.
District 7 Trustee Norman Robbins. Any discussion?
No discussion.
District 9 Trustee Ashley Paz. Any discussion?
No discussion.
Thank you. Trustee Toby Jackson. At this time, and I have no discussion, at this time we can please move to voting, and we will be voting on the motion to reconsider action item 4A, approve ordinance fixing and levying school district ad valorem taxes. And just for the public to know, only a member who voted in favor of the item may make the motion and second it, and Trustee Paz has done so. We will now go through roll call for the votes. District 1 Trustee Jacinto Ramos Jr.
I vote yes.
Thank you, President Ramos. District 3 Trustee Quentin Phillips.
Yes.
Thank you. District 4 Trustee Daphne Brookins.
Yes.
Thank you. District 5 Trustee CJ Evans.
No.
Thank you. District 6 Trustee Ann Dar.
Yes.
Thank you. District 7 trustee Norman Robbins.
No.
Thank you. District 9 trustee Ashley Paz.
Yes.
Thank you. And I, Toby Jackson, District 2 trustee, vote yes. This motion passes 6-4, 2 against. It's now been passed by a majority of the board, so now the item is back up for reconsideration. We need a trustee to make a motion on that same item. Do I have a motion from any trustee?
Yes, Madam Vice President, Ashley Paz, I would like to move that the board approve fixing and levying the Fort Worth ISD ad valorem taxes tax rate to raise more taxes for maintenance and operations than last year's tax rate, and that the tax rate will effectively be raised by 7.53% and will raise taxes for maintenance and operations on a $100,000 home by approximately $96.50 per year.
Madam Chair Jackson, the motion that needs to be read is statutorily required. We have it in the script. I don't know if Trustee Paz, could we send that to you?
Yes, but it wasn't really. It's not the way that.
Yes. Let me get it to you real quick.
Okay, everybody, we're going to hold for a second. Trustee Paz, we're going to wait for you to receive the motion. Trustee Paz will then read the motion. Is that correct, Attorney Castillo?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Oh wait, okay, I have it. I think.
Oh, good.
Okay, I was looking for the wrong thing. Okay, I move that the property tax rate be increased by the adoption of a tax rate of 1.3784 cents. No, wait, I'm sorry. $1.3784, which is effectively a 7.53% increase in the. I further move that the ordinance fixing and levying school district ad valorem taxes for the year 2020 be approved as presented.
Thank you, Trustee Paz. Trustee Paz has made the motion and she has read the motion. Attorney Castillo, is everything correct at this point?
We are good to go. Mr. Ball, do you concur? All right.
Okay, I would love to hear a second from someone.
Hugh Phillips, I second.
Thank you. Trustee Ashley Paz has moved. Trustee Phillips has seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing no discussion, I'll go through a call to make sure that there is no discussion. District 1 Trustee President Jacinto Ramos Jr., any discussion?
No discussion.
Thank you. District 3 Trustee Quentin Phillips, any discussion?
No discussion.
Thank you. District 4 Trustee Daphne Brookins, any discussion?
No discussion.
Thank you. District 5 Trustee CJ Evans, any discussion?
No discussion.
District 6 Trustee Ann Dar, any discussion?
No discussion.
District 7 Trustee Norman Robbins, any discussion?
No discussion.
District 9 Trustee Ashley Paz, any discussion?
No discussion.
Thank you. And I am District 2 Trustee Toby Jackson. I do not have any discussion. We will now move to voting. As I call your name again, trustees, please say yes or no. District 1 Trustee President Jacinto Ramos Jr.
Yes.
Thank you. District 3 Trustee Quentin Phillips.
Yes.
Thank you. District 4 Trustee Daphne Brookins.
Yes.
District 5 Trustee CJ Evans.
No.
Thank you. District 6 Trustee Ann Dar.
Yes.
Thank you. District 7 Trustee Norman Robbins.
No.
Thank you. District 9 Trustee Ashley Paz.
Yes.
Thank you. And I am District 2 Trustee Toby Jackson, and I vote yes. And the motion passes 6 yes to no. I'd like to entertain a motion to reconsider item 4B, approve order calling a voter approval tax ratification election. Remembering that only a member who voted in favor of the item may make the motion and second. Do I have a motion from one of those on the prevailing side?
Madam President, this is Ashley Paz, and I move to reconsider item 4B, approve the order calling a voter-approved tax ratification election.
Thank you, Trustee Paz. Do we have a second?
Hugh Phillips, I'll second.
Thank you, Trustee Phillips. I'll now go through roll call to ensure that if we have discussion, that we indeed have discussion. District 1 Trustee, President Jacinto Ramos Jr.
No discussion.
Thank you, sir. District 3 Trustee, Quentin Phillips.
No discussion.
District 4 Trustee, Daphne Brookins. Oh, thank you. District 4 Trustee, Daphne Brookins.
No discussion.
Thank you. District 5 Trustee, CJ Evans.
No discussion.
District 6 Trustee, Ann Dar.
No discussion.
District 7 Trustee, Norman Robbins.
No discussion.
District 9 Trustee, Ashley Paz.
No discussion.
And I am Toby Jackson, District 2 Trustee, and I have no discussion. We are going to move to voting. As I call your name, trustees, please say yes or no. District 1 Trustee, Board President Jacinto Ramos Jr.
Yes.
Thank you. District 3 Trustee, Quentin Phillips.
Yes.
Thank you. District 4 Trustee, Daphne Brookins.
Yes.
Thank you. District 5 Trustee, CJ Evans.
No.
Thank you. District 6 Trustee, Ann Dar.
Yes.
Thank you. District 7 Trustee, Norman Robbins.
No.
Thank you. District 9 Trustee, Ashley Paz.
Yes.
Thank you. And I am District 2 Trustee Toby Jackson. I vote yes. The vote is 6-4 and 2 against. Now we need a board member to make a motion on that same item. Do I have a motion?
Madam Vice President, I move to approve the order calling for a voter-approved tax ratification election.
Thank you, Trustee Paz. And do I have a second?
You're doing a good job, Ashley. I second.
Second. Moved by Trustee Paz, seconded by Trustee Phillips. We'll move through the roll call to see if there's any discussion. District 1 Trustee, Board President Jacinto Ramos Jr.
No discussion.
Thank you. District 3 Trustee, Quentin Phillips.
No discussion.
Thank you. District 4 Trustee, Daphne Brookins.
No discussion.
Thank you. District 5 Trustee, CJ Evans.
No discussion.
Thank you. District 6 Trustee, Ann Dar.
No discussion.
Thank you. District 7 Trustee, Norman Robbins.
No discussion.
Thank you. District 9 Trustee, Ashley Paz.
No discussion.
Thank you. And I am District 2 Trustee Toby Jackson. I have no discussion. We will now move to voting. As I call your name, trustees, say yes or no or abstain. District 1 Trustee, Board President Jacinto Ramos Jr.
Yes.
Thank you. District 3 Trustee, Quentin Phillips.
Yes.
Thank you. District 4 Trustee, Daphne Brookins.
Yes.
Thank you. District 5 Trustee, CJ Evans.
No.
Thank you. District 6 Trustee, Ann Dar.
Yes.
Thank you. District 7 Trustee, Norman Robbins.
No.
Thank you. District 9 Trustee, Ashley Paz.
Yes.
Thank you. And I am District 2 Trustee Toby Jackson. I vote yes. The motion passes 6-4-2 against. Item 4C, I'd like to entertain a motion to reconsider item 4C, approve resolution and order for election services for the November 3rd, 2020 Fort Worth ISD voter approval tax ratification election. Remembering that only a member who voted in favor of the item may make the motion and the second. Do I have a motion?
Madam President, this is Ashley Paz. I move to reconsider item 4C, approve resolution and order for election services for the November 3rd, 2020 Fort Worth ISD voter approval tax ratification election.
Thank you, Trustee Paz. We have a motion on the floor from Trustee Paz. May we have a second?
Q Phillips, I second.
Thank you, Trustee Phillips. I'll now go through roll call to make sure if anyone has any discussion. District 1 Trustee, President Jacinto Ramos Jr.
No.
Thank you. District 3 Trustee, Quentin Phillips.
No discussion.
District 4 Trustee, Daphne Brookins.
No discussion.
District 5 Trustee, CJ Evans.
No discussion.
District 6 Trustee, Ann Dar.
No discussion.
Trustee, Norman Robbins.
No discussion.
District 8 Trustee, District 9 Trustee, Ashley Paz.
No discussion.
And I am Toby Jackson, District 2 Trustee. I have no discussion. We will now move to voting. As I call your name, trustees, please say yes, no, or I abstain. District 1 Trustee, Board President Jacinto Ramos Jr.
Yes.
Thank you. District 3 Trustee, Quentin Phillips.
Yes.
Thank you. District 4 Trustee, Daphne Brookins.
Yes.
Thank you. District 5 Trustee, CJ Evans.
No.
Thank you. District 6 Trustee, Ann Dar.
Yes.
Thank you. District 7 Trustee, Norman Robbins.
No.
Thank you. District 9 Trustee, Ashley Paz.
Yes.
Thank you. And I am Toby Jackson, District 2 Trustee, and I vote yes. The motion passes 6-4, 2 against. Now we need a board member to make a motion on that same item. Do I have a motion?
Madam Vice President, this is Ashley Paz. I move to approve the resolution and order for election services for the November 3rd, 2020 Fort Worth ISD voter approval tax ratification election.
Thank you, Trustee Paz. Trustee Paz has moved. May we have a second?
Q Phillips, I second.
Thank you, Trustee Phillips. I'll now go through roll call to see if there's any discussion. District 1 Trustee, Board President Jacinto Ramos Jr. I believe that was no discussion. District 3 Trustee, Quentin Phillips.
No discussion.
District 4 Trustee, Daphne Brookins.
No discussion.
Thank you. District 5 Trustee, CJ Evans.
No discussion.
District 6 Trustee, Ann Dar.
No discussion.
District 7 Trustee, Norman Robbins.
No discussion.
District 9 Trustee, Ashley Paz.
No discussion.
And I am District 2 Trustee, Toby Jackson. I have no discussion. As I call your name, trustees, please say yes, no, or abstain to the vote. Once again, moved by Trustee Paz and seconded by Trustee Phillips. District 1 Trustee, Jacinto Ramos Jr.
Yes.
Thank you. District 3 Trustee, Quentin Phillips.
Yes.
Thank you. District 4 Trustee, Daphne Brookins.
Yes.
Thank you. District 5 Trustee, CJ Evans.
No.
Thank you. District 6 Trustee, Ann Dar.
Yes.
Thank you. District 7 Trustee, Norman Robbins.
No.
Thank you. District 9 Trustee, Ashley Paz.
Yes.
Thank you. And I am Toby Jackson, District 2 Trustee, and I vote yes. The motion passes 6-4 and 2 against. At this time, the time is 9:02 p.m. and we are indeed adjourned.
We did it, everyone. Good job.